either a fallen warrior in the afterlife or the god of Odin, and I think it's Odin, because he is riding his 8-legged horse, stallion. Yeah, it was found on Gotland, Swedish. Okay, no, it was found on Gotland, and it's now located in Swedish History Museum in Stockholm. Okay. So, successors would later follow in his footsteps. In France, the Viking presence in what became Normandy evolved. The wild men of the north settled down, adopted Christianity and the French language, and became Normans, retaining their Viking fierceness and prowess in battle. Before and after their invasion of England in 1066, Norman warriors seized swaths of southern Italy from Byzantines and Sicily from the Muslims. The magnificent Georges they built there in the Norman style are a lasting legacy of their Mediterranean adventure, an echo of the audacious voyage undertaken by their kinsman Bjorn Ironside 2 centuries before. And that concludes this article. Historian Antonio Ratti writes on medieval Europe and nomadic societies in Central Asia, and we can learn more by reading Children of Ash and Elm, A History of the Vikings. Okay, let's take a look at the pictures. These two guys, what are they doing? Fighting. Norman legacy. 2 Norman warriors are depicted on this capital from the 12th century cloister of the Cathedral of Montreal, Sicily. Oh, interesting. This one has a line on his shoulder, this one too. Okay. Then, the Dragons of the Sea. I love this. So beautiful. The dragonhead, one of 4 found at the Oseberg ship burial, early 9th century. The Viking Ship Museum, Oslo, Norway. This is so beautiful. Dragons of the Sea. The Vikings' expansion west, south, and east was facilitated by the longboat. These narrow vessels, powered by oar and sail, could resist the fury of the Atlantic, while their shallow draught enabled them to travel vast distances along rivers. Yeah, that was amazing.